everybody, it's Jenna here. Do you want proof? Look, let me turn it around slowly. Hey, it's Jenna. I don't know if it's looking right at me. I think it is. I'm going to give you a catch up of where I'm at in the garden and what all I've got to do yet. A lot. In the spring. It's only April 5th, I think 6th. It's April 5th, 6th, something like that. So we're still really early in the season, but I just want to let you know some of my plans. Okay, so we're going to turn around and you're going to get to see the garden. So this is the outside of the garden where we have cats, and the cats can get in the garden and stuff. Chicks, and right now these chicks are small enough that yes, they can get in the garden, but they don't bother things so bad. Oh, there's the pig that always chases after me. And I've been cleaning out the barn so you can see stuff strewn about, and really that's just my life. Things are strewn about. Anyway, so I've been working a bit on and off in the garden, a lot the last couple days. And here we have hyacinth bulbs. I am going to plant, and you can see we have a ton over there, cases or crates of them. I'm going to be planting hyacinth bulbs all along the outside of the garden, on the outside of the fence. So I got a bunch of these hyacinth bulbs for free because they were kind of past their prime. And so what I'm doing is I'm planting them, and then I'm just cutting off the dead flower stem so that all of the energy and the nutrition goes down to the roots to get these plants established so they have a better chance of coming back spring after spring after spring. I don't want them to worry about the flowers or anything like that, so I'm cutting back almost all the flowers and just letting that energy go to roots. And every once in a while I'm planting a little bit of sedum, or commonly known as frog's belly, that the hummingbirds and the bees absolutely love when it starts growing and flowering out. So all around the outside of the garden we're going to have different bulbs and things planted. And you can see where I disturbed the dirt here. The chicks are loving getting all the worms and everything. And so here's our one gate. This is our main gate into the garden. But on this side of the fence, you can see I've already got tulip bulbs and things like that. So there's some tulip bulbs coming up. So just different spring bulbs so that I can see some spring color in the garden, by the garden in spring. So already in the garden, what we have in here, already planted, established from last year, which is nice, are 2 fig trees. There's one fig tree. And there's the other fig tree. We have bulbs coming up, different crocus, daffodils, tulips, irises, all sorts of different things like that. You can see in here we have comfrey. This comfrey is going to be coming up, and I'm going to separate it and make a ton more comfrey. We're going to have a whole huge comfrey bed over in the herb garden. Over here we have bee balm that'll be coming up. You can see I've got pots and stuff that I've been cleaning out. So the bee balm will be coming back, and there actually are a lot of perennials in this little flower bed here that will be coming back up. And so I just want a flower bed in the middle of the garden just because I like pretty things. And so we've got blueberry bushes. These blueberry bushes are just now starting to bud out, you can see. And so I don't know if we're going to get very many blueberries off of them at all this year, but we're just going to let them keep growing. And look at those blueberries. We've got in the garden here, in the fenced in area garden here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blueberry bushes planted in the garden here. And you can see I mulch a lot with our goat poop hay. And you can see these little brown balls. Those are goat poop and rabbit poop. And so I just disperse that, but you can see I don't get it up against the stem. Whoops. You know, I pull it. Move, cat, honey. I pull it back away from the stem so it's not right up against the stem. But that adds a ton of nitrogen to the soil, which is really, really nice. So we got daffodils and irises mixed in here. Also, I've already planted, this is where we planted the sugar snap peas and the snow peas that we did the video on. So you can see they're just now starting to come up. And they took a lot longer than the 7 to 10 days that they're supposed to take to come up because we had a lot of cold snaps, So yeah, so they're taking their time. Cat, you are squishing them like crazy. So they're taking their time coming up, but you can see they're coming up on both sides of that fencing, and then they're gonna climb right up this trellis, which is nice. Here we have red raspberries. You can see I have some that overwintered in their pots that we need to put in. I've put a couple in already. Some of them didn't make it from last year. I think the goats got in here and got a lot of them, so that was an issue. But yeah, so this is our red raspberry bed right here, which is really nice. And as you can see, my back is to the fence right now, And this tree right here is the line where we have the red raspberries. Oh, and then there's the cat with the sweet peas or snow peas. And then there's the blueberries. Now this bed with the brick around it is a garlic bed. Just a ton of garlic is planted in here, and we'll see how that comes up. We have regular garlic here, and then we have garlic chives here. So yeah, we've got garlic chives and just regular garlic, and we'll harvest those garlic bulbs in the fall. So that's wonderful. We got some daffodils in this tire, which is always nice. And then I think this is a eucalyptus tree right here. And I think it is not brittle. I think that sucker's gonna come back. So I'm gonna prune that back and see if that comes back. And I'm gonna clean the rest of this out. That's one of my projects. Because what is this? Yeah, that's an annual plum Brazilian joyweed. That might be a perennial. I'm gonna have to take a look and see, is that a perennial? I'm gonna have to look it up and see if that's supposed to come back. And this grass might come back. I'm not sure. It's still got some green. I might cut it back and just see what it does. Here's where we had herbs, and I started clearing this out because we're moving our herbs over to our herb garden, which you'll see on a different video. But I'm hoping this lemon verbena, I cut this lemon verbena back right here, and I'm hoping that it grows. I'm hoping the roots are still good and we get some lemon verbena. And this is just some different little, like little mini succulent stuff here. Ground cover actually kind of stuff. I'm hoping that grows back. I'm hoping our big basil plant there, I'm hoping that reseeded so I can get some starts and transplant them over to the herb garden. This is where we had pineapple sage, and I put a bunch of composted stuff in there, and I don't think the pineapple sage is going to come back, but it might, so we're going to keep an eye on that. And if it does, we're going to transplant it over to the new herb garden. So that's what we've got. Oh, here we've got lettuces. And these lettuces started out as little plugs, and I've got more plugs to plant, so we're going to do a video of that this weekend. And this is just, I had compost in there that I dumped. You can see in the middle there's that ton of compost material, which just provides so much nutrient and nitrogen to the soil, which is great, because this back part of the garden here has a lot of clay. And so we want to really make this soil nutrient rich. But we have spinach. You can see our little spinach plants are doing great there. And then we have, and these all were little plugs. And so those plugs you can get at like your nursery stores, 12 of them for $1. And so within a week, this will be ready to harvest easily. And so there we've got some red sales. Yep. And then some arugula. Yummy, yummy, yummy arugula. And that arugula is a peppery lettuce that I absolutely love, 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 love. Lemon shrimp linguine. I don't know if I've done that recipe yet for you guys, but I'm going to do it soon. And it's delicious. These are radishes. So I planted a row of radishes, and we are going to get another couple rows of radishes in here pretty soon. We've got more lettuce. The radishes go right into the lettuce. There's some beautiful romaine, and that's going to come up really quickly, which is nice. So here's another eucalyptus plant that's in a pot that I'm hoping went through the winter okay. No, this one's probably dead. I'm going to trim it all back and see, but I think this one is dead. That other one though, the branches didn't break. So see, this is all the spinach. Those other ones that are in there over there, they were plugs, but these I got in 4-packs, and so all of this spinach needs to go in this weekend yet. And here's just some things that were perennials, and I'm not sure if they'll come back, some strawberry plants and things that I found just scattered in the garden that I'm not sure if they're going to come back or not, so I'm just going to leave the pots here and see if they're going to come back. These 2 pots need to be planted yet. And so, over here, we've got some irises that we planted, and then we've got some snow peas that are coming up really, really nicely. These are snow peas and sugar snap peas mixed in, and they're going to climb right up this pallet, which is so handy for me. And I'm going to be, cat, you're so goofy. That's Dose. Dose is crazy. So coming over here, you can see we have our kale that we need to get in yet. We have not gotten any kale in yet. I'm so mad. I've got 2 types of kale here that we need to get in. We've got Black Magic kale, and what is the other one? I knew what it was. It is Blue Ridge kale. So those need to get all planted here. And then we have some wonderful calendula. I think this is, yep, calendula. So that calendula needs to go in. All of that is calendula. We've got some pansies just for some color, and those pansies need to go in the ground. Oh, I just love pansies. They're so pretty. Aren't they just a beautiful little pop of color in the garden? Just wonderful. And you can eat pansies. Pansies are completely edible. So did you know? Yeah. So we have some volunteer hyacinth that came up right there. Does everybody love the smell of hyacinth? So good. Love hyacinth. And then I did some transplanting over here with our black raspberries. So we have black raspberries that are coming up nicely. Look at these black raspberries. So those are coming up nicely, and we have probably about, black raspberries are my favorite berry, and so we probably have about 24 plants of black raspberries because I make jelly out of it, and we just eat a ton of black raspberries. So those are already good, and I just need to trim everything back a bit and clean out the rest of these rows. But I've been cleaning this out, weeding that out, and I'll mulch that heavily. Cabbages, I need to get all of our cabbages and broccoli in. I've not got that in the ground this weekend. All the cabbages and broccoli are going in. Here we have some wisteria that's going to be coming up, a vine that's going to be coming up, which is wonderful. I love it. I'm sorry, not wisteria, a clematis. It's a clematis. So, all right, here's some lettuce bowls that we did at a workshop for our church for our homemaking series. And I just did a couple extra lettuce bowls, and I really need to get rid of these because I've got so much lettuce already planted in my garden. So if anyone needs a lettuce bowl, let me know. Let me know in the comments here, and I'll get this lettuce bowl to you if you're local. So, and you can just trim that and eat all that lettuce, and it just keeps growing back and keeps growing back and keeps growing back. Now this is what I was talking about with the lettuce plugs. These are little plugs, and let me pull one out and show you. And these are what are, like at Robin's Nest, 12 for $1, and I just got a whole flat because I love the speckled. Bought a whole flat. But these are a whole plant, and you just stick that in the ground, and within a week or two, you'll have a huge lettuce plant like that you'll be able to harvest. So all those plugs need to go in. That's going to be about 30 rows of lettuces, but we eat so much lettuce. There's my cilantro and my lettuce that needs to go in. And then here we have more lettuce already planted. These were just planted recently. And you can see that the dogs were laying in here. I think Fuzzy came in here, was gardening the other day, and decided to just lay in here. Maybe the cats did. But lots of arugula, lots of regular lettuce, and just tons of lettuce. And I've just got to finish mulching in between them. But right here we just have 4 rows of lettuce. So what we're going to do, the plans, is get all the spring plants in the ground. I need to get my carrots in. I need to get more radishes in. I need to get turnips in. Get some more plants in the ground, and then what we're going to do is we are going to make along the inside perimeter a raised bed. Like that's going to come, there'll be a board against the fence and then a board that comes out to about there. And then we're going to fill it with dirt, and so there'll just be like a raised bed all around the outside of the garden, around the whole perimeter. We're going to start with this front area first because that's the one that gets, the area that gets the most sun. So that's the project this year. Is getting that raised bed on the inside of the fencing to just deter the rabbits from digging underneath. That's what we're trying to deter and just give a little more substantial heft to that fencing. So we have this main opening here of the garden with our little gate there. We've got between those 2 posts back there, we've got, that's another one. It's just got the fencing up there. We don't have the gate for it yet. We have another, oh, there's the other opening. I was like, where's the other opening? We have another opening there. And then we have one more opening. I thought I put an opening. Oh yeah, I'm going to build a gate and put one more opening right there. So we have 4 total openings in the barn. And that's a rabbit hutch right there. And it opens from the other side. There's no rabbits in it right now. The winter rabbits, the ones that overwinter in that enclosure, they've been set loose for free ranging. So they're 2 little black bunnies that I just saw this morning. So yeah, in the winter they live in there because we run an extension cord out and put a heating pad in there for them. And they've got that top part, they can go in the bottom part, and then it's just wonderful. And so run that extension cord out for heating water and heated water and the heat pad for them. So the 2 black bunnies live in there in the winter and they love it. And then in the spring, we set them loose to free range and they love that even more. So yeah, you can see we've got a lot of room in the garden, but we have a lot of planting to do. And so when that lettuce bolts in the heat of the summer, we'll be able to get tomatoes and everything in, and that'll be great. So asparagus is going to be coming up any day now. Right here, you can see kind of the dead part of the asparagus here. And we've got a row of it that goes right down here, and we've got about 6 established asparagus things here in this asparagus bed. And so we get probably about, I'd say about a half a pound of asparagus a day out of there. So we eat a lot of asparagus in the early summer. So, okay, that's it. That's the garden update. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll answer whatever I can. Just want to give you a little tour of the spring garden, where we're at, where we're going. And as we get stuff done, I'll give you little updates on our Patreon page. If you haven't looked us up over there, it's in the description. I'll try to get into the description. If I don't, check the description of what's the last video I did that had like the fancy title? I don't know. Our Patreon page, when you have a big long description for the video, our Patreon page is in there. But you can also look us up on Simple Hobby Homesteading on patreon.com. Patreon. And there you can get all the updates on our garden and everything like that. So just like the little details and behind the scenes kind of stuff. So yeah, you guys have a great day. And remember, do what you can with what you have wherever you are, because homesteading can happen with anyone, anytime, any place, with anything. So do what you can. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. I love this garden.